Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're back with another Borderlands video, and today we've got the Jakobs Corporation versus the Maliwan Corporation, and we're going to be looking at damage up front, pretty much, versus damage over time, which makes things very, very interesting. Maliwan is all about the sleek look, the elemental damage, and the forefront of technology, and this corporation may not pack a deadly punch up front, but what they miss on the first strike, they make up for by delivering an almost endless amount of non-stop damage on your targets. Now, Jakobs, on the other hand, does not dabble in elemental technology for the most part, with the exception of a few unique weapons. Jacob is going to try and allow you, the weapon user, to drop your target in just a single shot. Remember, if it took more than one shot, you weren't using a Jakobs. And as always, we won't be penalizing a corporation for not producing a weapon class, like how Jakobs has no SMGs and Maliwan has no assault rifles. Let's get into it. So we'll be starting our video off today with Maliwan so that we can light some people on fire. We all know Maliwan loves elemental technology, and their gimmick means they inherently do more damage over time than other companies. Maliwan features the likes of the Hellfire in Borderlands 1 as well as the second, although in Borderlands 1, I'd argue the weapon was a bit better. The Norfleet in Borderlands 2, the Thunderfire in the pre-sequel, and the Pimpernel sniper rifle in Borderlands 2. The company also features some lovely grenade mods that can slag up your enemies as well as return some health back to you, the player, in the form of the transfusion grenade mods. We also see the chain lightning and magic missile, which are fantastic as well. As for shields, Maliwan has the antagonist and the flame of the Firehawk, which both work well as very high utility shields. Basically, what I'm saying is they're not just gonna block bullets. They can do some offensive work. The antagonist can also slag. Very, very quality shields that do more than just block bullets. Overall, Maliwan produces some incredible quality armaments, grenades, and shields to keep your Vault Hunter stocked up. Now, I mentioned Maliwan's gimmick was their damage over time with their elemental technology, which is extremely useful because we will be able to dispatch different enemy types with different elements. You got loaders, we've got a corrosive plasma caster. Bandits, I've got a Hellfire for some sweet fire damage. Heavily shielded enemy, better break out the shock Norfleet. Maliwan doesn't care who you're fighting because they've got a gun with the right setup to help you defeat that foe in any case. Now, the thing that is so beneficial for Maliwan is the fact that they excel in all categories. They have great guns, they have great shields, they have great grenade mods, and they aren't just great because they can do a ton of damage. We know that Maliwan's not going to do a ton of damage. They go for damage over time. But where I'm going with this is some of them are great for their elemental effect, and some of them are great for the utility that they can provide in the form of healing, slagging, or just being able to reflect incoming damage. So let's move on to the Jakobs Corporation, who is absolutely known for their old school motto and their old school approach to making impactful weaponry. Jakobs keeps the old Western thought process alive by producing mostly non-elemental weapons that pack a punch and then some. Jakobs is known for the Luck Cannon in the pre-sequel, the Maggie in Borderlands 2, the Skull Masher in Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, and the Flayer in the pre-sequel. Now, I mentioned that they do on some occasions make elemental weapons, which you can see in the form of the Stinkpot assault rifle, the Twister shotgun, or the Greed pistol. And Jakobs is really just all about damage up front. It hurts, and it hurts bad, and when it hits, it does damage. For example, an OP8 Skullmasher sniper rifle can do about triple the damage that a Maliwan Volcano sniper rifle can do. We're looking at about 1.75 million damage per shot compared to about 618,000 damage per shot. So that's 3 times the damage up front, no questions asked, and that's really, really nuts damage for most enemy types. Mobs, forget it. So if you consider their ability to put out a ton of damage and the fact that a pistol like the Maggie can let you fan the hammer, Also, there's a twofer version, which is times 10 instead of times 6. You're going to be DPSing the shit out of everything and everyone. The Maggie is incredible. So when it comes down to it, Jakobs is a company that is going to provide your Vault Hunter with quality firearms for the duration of your playthrough, all the way to the very, very end. So that brings us to the decision on which corporation is the winner. And I've got to give that to Maliwan because they just produce too much that is quality in so many different categories. And on top of that, they can provide something quality in the form of damage or utility. They've got great shields, great firearms, great grenade mods, and you can take your choice on very good damage over time, or you can take something that's going to do just more than damage. Yeah, maybe the damage isn't great, but it's going to return some of your health and slag. Maybe the shield doesn't have the best capacity, but it's going to reflect bullets, and it's also going to slag. Or maybe the shield doesn't have the best capacity, but it's going to Nova Blast endlessly if you can time it right and keep your shield down, and it's going to be just knocking everybody out, an extra punch. That's why Maliwan gets the nod here, because while I'm a huge fan of both of these corporations, Jakobs just doesn't have the arsenal to go up against Maliwan and their strong technology. There's a reason why we're further along in the Borderlands universe, and Maliwan is using that technology. We have planet-to-planet space travel and a whole bunch more, and Maliwan actually utilizes this. Jakobs is doing some great stuff, but when you're stuck in the past and you're still comparable in a lot of different categories and certainly better than a lot of other manufacturers, that's got to be the difference there. They're not utilizing the technology that other corporations are in the current time period. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you've got anything to add, go ahead and drop a comment down below. And if you guys are into Borderlands, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Later.